People. We're all very different, but there are things we all have in common. One of those things that 99% of the population uses is toilet paper. Toilet paper, a basic household item that most of us use every day, has a long and interesting history. The earliest records of toilet paper use date back to ancient China in 851, where it was made from materials such as bamboo, hemp, silk, and rice paper. In 1393, 720,000 sheets of ordinary toilet paper were delivered annually to the imperial court, as well as 15,000 square sheets of special, thick, soft-smelling pale yellow, for the emperor's family. But China isn't the only country where people have figured out that they need to clean themselves somehow after going to the toilet. People in the Middle East and the Indian subcontinent traditionally used water and the mechanical action of the left hand. In Japan, apartment sticks that looked a bit like tongue depressors were dragged over the soiled area from left to right. In ancient Greece, clay shards were used with a similar scraping motion. Sometimes these shards were inscribed with the name of an enemy before being used. In Rome, after using a public latrine, people cleaned themselves with a sea sponge attached to a stick and placed in a bucket of salt water or vinegar. It was considered polite to rinse and squeeze the sponge briefly before placing it back in the bucket to prepare it for the next person. Native Americans used twigs, dry grass, small stones, and even oyster or clam shells. And in rural communities, handfuls of straw were often used, but one of the most popular hygiene items was dried corn on the cob. They were plentiful, cleaned effectively, were softer for sensitive areas, and could be rotated on an axis. Even after toilet paper became available, some people in the western states still preferred corn on the cob when they went to the bathroom. Modern toilet paper wasn't widely available in the United States until the mid-19th century. In 1857, New York businessman Joseph Gaetti made toilet paper that was cut into neat squares and packaged in stacks. A packet contained 500 sheets and cost 50 cents. The first company to introduce mass production of toilet paper was the Scott Paper Company. Founded in 1879, Scott Paper was one of the first companies to begin mass producing toilet paper. That's not to say that this method of hygiene immediately became popular. In many countries, people used advertising catalogs, crumpled old newspapers, or the pages of telephone directories instead of the special toilet paper. In addition, most people didn't understand why they should pay for something that could be done with a rag and a bucket of water, especially when homes didn't have plumbing. Which company was the first to produce toilet paper rolls with a sleeve is uncertain, but it's believed to have been introduced in the early 20th century. The sleeve, also called a tube, was designed to prevent the paper roll from unrolling and made it more convenient and hygienic for consumers to use. It also made it easier to store and transport the rolls, as they no longer needed a separate dispenser. The introduction of the sleeve was a significant advancement in the toilet paper industry and is now a standard feature on most toilet paper rolls. The toilet paper industry has grown significantly over the years, and today there are many different brands and types of toilet paper on the market. They're made with fragrances and lotions, are absorbent and biodegradable, strong and soft. Some companies have even started to use eco-friendly materials like bamboo and recycled paper for their products. Now it's the most indispensable thing in every household that everyone can afford.